So the White House put out a little video on Twitter showing a whiteboard and information. Problem is, it's too easy to debunk all of it. Hey everybody, this is Tom with Tom's Talk Show, and I do have a lot of fun going on Twitter and just constantly commenting on everything that the government is putting out, because all of it is extremely easy to debunk and disprove and all that. I mean, I'm just a guy sitting in the bedroom on my property here, in Florida, awaiting, a hurricane. So if you're near any of those areas, of coastal areas or anything like that, please stay safe and don't. Hopefully, we won't see too many abandoned electric cars, because they just don't go very far, and you can't just fuel them up. Not a good car to have in Florida. I'm just saying. Okay, so White House put out this little video of trying to explain why this is why your grocery bills are so high. This is why your gas bill is so high. This is why your electric bill is so high. This is why all your utilities and everything are so high. This is why you have to give up your gas stove. This is why you have to give up, your dishwasher, because it's so horrible. And now I guess they're coming for ceiling fans. I mean, I personally want the government out of my life. Right? I mean, everybody wants that. Let's get them out. Let's get them away. Okay, so I do have a little bit better view of this. So here we've got smart investments in America as this first column. So the first one is infrastructure, so they're building some of these buildings, and what I've heard, different bridges and whatever, and other construction projects. But what I've heard is that in order to, it's a pay to play kind of thing, or a play to pay. Well, I don't know, one or the other. That you have to have a sign. Big, most construction places will have big U.S. flag draping on the side of the building, whatever it is, all the time. From every crane, there's a big U.S. flag going across the thing. But I guess in any of these projects, they have to have a big, huge Bidenomics funded by Biden. This is Biden if you want the money. If you take it down, your money goes away. They have people going around checking to make sure you're still flying the Biden flag in order to get that done, which is almost criminal. So manufacturing jobs. Okay, so we're bringing back manufacturing jobs. What happened? That's because COVID shut all these manufacturing jobs down. He keeps saying, "Oh, he goes and he fills in this little box over here, right down here. There's a little spot right here for a little box for him to fill something in, and he puts down there's 13 million jobs. Well, what really happened, right? So we have this, like in a normal graph, you'll have this is the increase of labor force in the country, and then this red line here that I have is COVID. So we're dancing merrily along in the country, with jobs or whatever they are. And then we hit COVID and this goes way down. So then it's slowly been going back up. And I think just now we've gone past what the COVID numbers were. We're right now back to the line where job participation is supposed to be. So he really hasn't created any jobs at all. Just people who lost their jobs, was told never to come to work again, are now being able to return to their jobs. So that number is complete fallacy. That's complete garbage. I mean, maybe a million jobs, I would say, but that's just because of the flow of the economy. Nothing that he's done at all. So now we get to clean energy. So my electric bill, because gas, price of natural gas and all the different resources that they use down here, my electric bill has gone up 100%. I was paying about $180, maybe $200. My last electric bill was $400. Your clean energy system is crap, right? This is not the time to try and get all these electric cars. And with the hurricane coming, how many of these electric cars are going to be stranded? Last time in Fort Myers, there were electric cars stranded all over the place because the power went out, nobody could charge, and you can't get your car anywhere. Plus, being in a big, huge electric battery vehicle and water is really not a good idea. They don't tell you that when you buy an electric vehicle, that if water gets into it and flooded while you're in it, it's going to electrocute you and kill you. Be aware. If you get in a really hard accident in that electric car and it breaks open any of those batteries, it's going to electrify the sides of the car, the frame of the car, and it's going to kill you. If you flip that vehicle over, it will kill you. Your car weighs so much more than a regular car. When you impact something, it's going to drive the batteries are behind you. It's going to, like if you hit something, it's going to drive those batteries right through you and kill you. Just be aware. So, this clean energy, so all the lithium mining and everything else, all that stuff that's basically destroying the environment, like hyper over what you could ever do by burning something like natural gas or nuclear. Super clean, super easy to get, already known quantities, all that stuff. So windmills, the blades and stuff on those windmills are not recyclable. They can't do anything with them but put them in a landfill. And there's windmill after windmill after windmill in Palm Desert. I used to drive by all the time out there. None of them are ever running because they've all failed. All the motors have failed. It's just garbage. Solar, you want to put solar on your house? Oh, they give you a loan for 20 years that you have to pay that instead of your electric bill. And at the end of the 20 years, your solar panels don't work because they wear out. Now you have to buy everything all over again. It's garbage. You're just paying someone else instead of your electric company. You're paying the solar company, and then when you're done with that, you're eternally paying for your solar company. It's not like once it gets done being paid for, that, oh, now it's all good and running. No, they're dead now. And is there a recycle plant for solar cells anywhere? I've heard there's one. So that's going to be, I think they said in the next 5 to 10 years, like 6 billion tons of solar panels are going to be coming out, piled up somewhere because nothing to do with them. Nobody there to dismantle them and take them away. Now they could start doing that, but I haven't seen anything in the news or anywhere that I've searched for. So horrible, horrible, horrible policy. We're beholden to all these other countries for gas, for everything. I mean, so here's the stupidity, right? You need gas to make everything run. So now you're buying it from other countries that don't have the clean air regulations that you do here in the United States. So why not tell those people to pound sand and drill it all yourself? So you can maintain control over the cleanliness and the eco-friendly whatever stuff that you want to do. Makes so much sense. But no, Bidenomics is, plus the fact that now that we're on the stupid clean energy thing, now your gas is going through the roof, which then makes every product that is on the shelf more, because all those are brought to you by ships and trucks. All of them use diesel gas to get you there. You make that more expensive, everything's going to be more. Okay, so let's go to educating and empowering workers. Yay, power workers. Increasing wages is his first one here. So let's look at some facts. Okay. We have some facts here somewhere. I know that we do. Well, let's look at this right here. This is a chart. This is the inflation rate in the United States. So if I'm telling people that I'm going to increase your wage, which I've not had a wage increase in quite a while, so that would mean that things would have to maybe cost less. Well, inflation here, people think that, inflation's only 3%. You understand it's cumulative, right? It's the 9% here plus the 3% here. But some things weren't just 9%. Some things were like 60%. Some things were 70%. Right? This is just certain items that they want to have in this chart. Okay. Now, let's see. According to this site, KTRH Local Houston, Texas News, they're posting this thing that says now a dollar is now worth only 88 cents because they have been printing so much money, sending it to Ukraine, giving these illegal student loans, refund dismissals, all that. So that means that if it's only 88 cents, so if you had a house, right, that was worth $100,000, then now your house is only worth $88,000. If you had savings, you had $1,000 in savings, well, that's only worth $880 now. So that isn't increasing anyone's wage. That isn't doing anything for anybody. That is not increasing wages at all. So, training workers. I don't know. I haven't looked up much of what they're doing about training workers. I'm sure that's, I'm sure they're going to have a program that, if it's anything like the training workers program at Best Buy, which is white men need not apply, only open to Asians, Black, Islanders, and all that. That's highly racist. And I'm sure that's typically what the Biden administration is I've never seen an administration so completely racist in my entire life. And then here we go. The next one is supporting unions. Okay, so here we go. We've got, there's something here. I got something here. Where'd it go? Here we go, right here. 86% of union political donations go to Democrats. So this is a pay to play, right? This is, you give me money and I'll make sure money comes back to you. I'll make sure you get paid if you send me money. That's 86% right there. Go to Democrats. So of course, we show it here. So 86% went to Democrats. So of course, that's where they're going to support that. Unions have a small place. I think back in the day when people were actually being abused and everything else, they needed some collective bargaining power. But I don't know that today is still a good place for unions. Definitely not the teachers union. That's garbage, right? We could just dismantle that today. So, let people bargain how they want. Let people give money how they want to their own political candidates that they want to give it to. Not just that. Okay, so now, so 3 is banning non-compete agreements. So this is kind of protection. So I've actually been through this a couple of times. So I work at a company and you're going to move to another company. Somebody from that company moves over somewhere else, right? This guy works at company A. He goes to company B and he calls all the people at company A and says, "Hey, come over here and work." It's kind of like a poaching thing, right? So you can't try and compete for the labor force. Where to me, it's like, hey, if they're going to give me a better job, if they're going to give me something that I can do that's better, I'm out. So, so maybe that's good. Maybe that's one good thing that you can't compete with each other. I haven't read into it too deeply. So the next is lowering prescription drug costs. Okay. So here we go. We actually have the direct information here. So all of the big drugs that you see in commercials on TV that the pharmaceutical companies are trying to push on everybody are the drugs that are on the list. Shall we say I'm shocked that if they didn't pay for any ads anywhere for any of these drugs, the pharmaceutical company could have lowered all the prices on their own. but a lot of these are for like diabetes and everything. The one, I forget what it is. One of the drugs is some very overweight lady dancing around, la la la, singing and everything else. And I'm like, lady, I bet if you lost 150 pounds, you probably wouldn't even need the drug. But nobody's saying that to her, right? Just be what you are. Anyway, so this only affects Medicare users. So, and this list of people who have taken this drug is about these drugs, somewhere around 9 million people that are all on Medicare. So what happens? So it's very natural. If you force a company to lower the price of a set of drugs for one set of users, what happens? They raise the price for the other sets of users to make up the difference. This is not hard to do. This is not hard to figure out. But the people in the government are dumb as a stump. So the last one down here is the credit card and junk fees for different things. I mean, I haven't used a check in I don't know how long. I haven't had a junk fee, a fee of any kind for anything for, probably 30 years. So this is meaningless to anybody who is managing their money. I guess it's going to be less meaningless now that your wages are completely gone. Your dollar is worth only 80 cents anymore. Everything you buy is now, 30 to 50% more. So people are running up. I think I saw a thing the other day that said we are now at the maximum amount of people holding credit card debt in the history of the country because of Biden craponomics. So there you go. There's all our little Biden things that he said, oh, it's so good. It's so wonderful. We're building up for route and everything else. And this is all going into my pocket. So he's basically just helping his friends, just like always. That's all the Bidens do. No one is better off. I saw a video of the other day of a lady screaming that she works cleaning houses and she can't pay for anything. Her rent has gone through the roof. She can't she can't even buy food. You got to decide, what are you going to buy? You're going to buy, your shoes are worn out. You can barely walk in them, but you need food, so you can't buy shoes. Right? That's where we are in this country because of Bidenomics. We need anyone but Biden is the theme going into the next year. Anyone. I don't even care who it is. I don't care if, as long as they're not on that side of the aisle. I don't care really. I mean, it's at this point. I mean, at least here in Florida, we're doing things are better. I mean, if we hadn't moved to Florida, I just checked the other day. Holy crap! Where we used to live in California, now rents is a small 1,600 square foot house that now rents for $3,700 a month. That is insane. Here I've got an acre of land. We've got gardens. We've got fruit trees. We've got chickens. We've got a lot of space. And our payment is 1/3 of that. I don't know why anyone stays in California at all. It's crazy. Just insanity. And if we want, and that's what's coming to the rest of the country if we don't push back. If we don't start calling these things out, these things that they're pushing are there to gaslight you into thinking, oh, I guess that sounds good. Oh, yeah, lowering drug costs. Oh, okay. Well, my friend who had his drug costs lowered, they wouldn't cover the regular diabetes medicine, his regular insulin, right? He made him buy generic, which almost put him into a coma, right? So not all this is good. This is going to maybe even maybe not force the Medicare people into buying generics, but maybe other regular people who now, with a raised price because they're doing that, may not be able to afford it. There's a lot of different things going on to make all that happen. Markets can work how they want to work, right? Just give some simple guidelines. Like, we don't need people digging into, oh, your gas stove emits 1% too much. Your dishwasher uses 3.5 gallons of water, and we need that to be 3.25 gallon of water. I don't care, right? I have a well. I mean, it's going to pump water. It's fine. You know, I mean, I'm sure they're coming after your refrigerator. They're coming after ceiling fans. They're going to come after you, want you to rip out your air conditioning. Time to say no. Time to say no, and that is now. And that time is going to be at the voting booth. And hopefully we still have some control of what we do in voting. And if you go to vote, vote that day and have your ID out and say, I'm here to vote. And get your ID out and make them know. All right, well, that's just kind of a rant there. I think everybody's tired of this government. Everybody's tired of things being pushed down their throat. So what do you think? Am I right on these things? Is there any other information that's out there that can blast this? I mean, I don't know much about non-compete clauses or training workers, but the rest of it is garbage. The rest of it is just crap. So I'm sure was all pay to play. It was all paying off their buddies and stuff. That's what they do on both sides. You know, that's it. All right, well, as I await a hurricane, I'm sure we'll be fine. Pray for everybody else, and take care. Have a good day.